And welcome back, everybody, to another exciting edition of the TV show podcast. My name is Jay Black, joined as always by the luminous Rhea Hughes and the relatively well lit Angelo Cataldi. You're making a face and distracted me, Angelo. And we have, I want to jump right in, Angelo, because Rhea, I got to tell you, I was in Kohl's getting my son pants to wear to his graduation because we put out the big money here in the Black
Oh yeah.
household. That comedy
Listen,
money.
Kohl's is not cheap.
It's
I
not.
have shopped
It's
in
not.
Kohl's, but they have good stuff. They do have good stuff. I shop at the one in Manahawkin, so I'm not taking shots at them, but they are not cheap.
Yeah, I was getting him a pair of khaki pants, and I get a call from Angelo Cataldi, who had just exited the Disclosure Day viewing.
Ooh.
And I don't want to tip his review. I want to get into his review. I just want to say I got an Angelo Cataldi compliment. I don't even know what it's like. I fell on the floor. They had to bring out an entire team to take care of me. I was like, I'm getting complimented by Angelo Cataldi. Angelo, let's talk about Disclosure Day, your review of it. But the big news is that it took a tumble in its second weekend. I mean, it lost like 80%, right? I mean, it was unbelievable. Nobody went to go see it in its second weekend. So let's talk about your review and then talk about where Spielberg's place is.
Toy Story won the week with big numbers. 312 million worldwide, which is mind-boggling. Disclosure Day went down 62% from its first weekend, which is really bad. What I said, I will try to recap what I said to Jay because I don't often praise him. This happened a full week ago, but I remember it because I came out of Disclosure Day and I said, Jay, that was a terrific review you gave of that film.
Wow.
The train scene in this, and it's not done primarily not with special effects. It's actually a train dragging a car. It's mind-boggling. It is so incredibly brilliant. And then the scene where they end up in the train, that whole sequence was spectacular.
Yeah,
in an otherwise highly disappointing film. You gave it a B minus. It's barely a C. It's just the story. Steven Spielberg forgot how to tell a good story. That's what happened here. Every 10 minutes, Spielberg's going, oh my God, wait, I'm telling the story. I better have another action sequence. And so he just stuffed all these action sequences in where they barely had a connection to the story he was telling, which was a compelling story about people who are discovering that there is life outside of Earth. And who better to tell that story than Spielberg?
Exactly.
But he blew it. He blew it. And what it says to me is that you're almost better off doing animation nowadays. That's the message of Toy Story 5 and Disclosure Day to me, that Toy Story 5 is animation with lots of big names voicing the characters. It's a fifth edition of Toy Story. And by all appearances, it's a better story, better told than Steven Spielberg, which is shocking to me, but that's what I derive from it.
So, Rhea, do you think that Spielberg, I mean, we touched on this a week ago, or 2 weeks actually. Do you think that Spielberg's name doesn't carry any kind of weight like it used to? I mean, you're somebody who doesn't really follow names of directors.
Yeah.
Does Spielberg matter to you?
Well, of course. I mean, Spielberg knows. So I wanted to, I was doing a test case because I was reading about the drop. And one of the things they attributed the drop to was that younger audiences were not going to see it. I happened to employ one of those youngsters in my home as my 16-year-old. So he just came walking down the hallway and I just hit it with him. I go, hey, yo, have you heard of Disclosure Day? And he's like, what? I said, the movie Disclosure Day. Now this kid, Spider-Man, the new Spider, which we both love, is coming out this summer. And we are counting down the months that we're now at weeks till it comes out. So he pays attention to movies. He goes, never heard of it. I said, have you ever heard of Steven Spielberg? He goes, oh, yeah, definitely heard of him. I said, what's the hot movies that, you guys are talking about? Obsession, Backrooms. Is it Backrooms?
So Backrooms, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what was it was true in there where they said it did not resonate with younger audiences. So you get more of a word of mouth, I think, with the younger kids because they all immediately take to TikTok and Instagram and tell everybody about it. The other thing, Ange, I think one thing to think about with Toy Story, why it may have been so big. So Toy Story came out in the mid 90s, correct? The first one, which was phenomenal. The kids who were watching that, like in the first couple of years, are now around 30. Some of them with 5-year-old kids.
Yeah.
They love the movie. They want to take their kid. Now, I think Toy Story 3 is one of the worst movies. I've argued with people about this. They're like, love Toy Story 3. I've seen them all. It's fun. It's just, I'm a more of an animation person than you are. Not the weird animation that Jay likes, but I like Pixar. I love the Cars series. So I think that has as much to do with people who grew up with Toy Story and love it, also have children now that they want to take to it. So I think that plays into it as well.
If I could just say something about obsession, I am in a house. We were talking before the podcast started with 16 of my family members, including eight children. And the obsession came up last night at dinner, and every kid 8 and above knew about obsession,
Yeah.
was desperate to see obsession, asked if we could take them while we were in Vancouver to go see it. And it was shocking to me. And I think there's something, Angelo, it's two things. One, what you always say, good story, but it's also they're giving them a theater experience that you can't get at home. It's an R-rated movie that feels like it's like an adult, like, oh my God, what is this thing? Everybody's talking about it. You give somebody a good story and a mystery, and the kids want to go see it. So, yeah, no interest in Disclosure Day. They all want to see Obsession in the theaters. It's nuts.
All right, Jay, a couple of things. First of all, if you're with 16 family members, and I've been told that the house you're in right now is not air conditioned.
Yeah.
Before we leave today, I'll give you the number for the suicide hotline, just in case you feel that inclination. And the other thing, Rhea was talking about the Toy Story sequels. Well, I won't watch any of them because it's animation and I hate it. But here's what I did some research, and Rhea, 3 wasn't great.
Yeah.
4 got slaughtered.
Yeah.
4 was supposed to be even worse.
Yep.
So how do you have 2 bad sequels, roll out 5, and it kills at $300
because
million?
You've got adults taking their children right there.
But didn't they see bad movies?
At a minimum, if they have 1 kid, there's 3 people, times that by 1 million. You've got millions of people going to see it.
But a bad sequel doesn't mean you're not going to see the next one.
No, because it's still you got a kid and you want to take them to the movies, and it's Toy Story. It's got the name. It has the name recognition.
Right, I guess. Right. But I just want to say one last thing about Spielberg, because this is what makes me the saddest. Steven Spielberg hasn't promoted a movie the way he promoted Disclosure Day in decades. He did one-on-ones. He went everywhere. And what that said to me is he thinks he hit a home run.
Yeah.
And he didn't. He didn't. He got a single, that great train scene. The rest of it, one other thing. I can't get off this without saying one other thing about your review, because it was also spot on. Emily Blunt, despite a stupid script, this script is stupid, it's incoherent, it's all over the place. Emily Blunt has never been better than she is in Disclosure Day. She's fantastic in it. She's between that and the train, it's almost worth seeing for those 2 things, but don't expect a good story because it isn't. And that's why it's getting clobbered right now.
Angela, she does everything. She's warm. She's funny. She's emotionally vulnerable. She's
wow,
guys.
And Jay, I want to say one thing. You in another life were a teacher, correct?
Yeah.
I wish I had been in your class, because Angelo nailed you spot on last week or 2 weeks ago when you gave it a B- and went, you don't give anything less than an A.
I was an easy grader. Oh, you handed it in, A-. Got in on time. All right, let's talk about something that's near and dear to my heart. And it's one of these things that just keeps coming up. I came across this article in the Hollywood Reporter about AI, which is that YouTube went through and wiped out a whole bunch of AI generated channels. Essentially, AI writes the script, does the video, and pushes it out. Now, the fact that that exists isn't the story here for me. The story is that these channels, it was 16 channels, had 35 million subscribers, 4.7 billion views, and $10 million in ad revenue, right? So people watch these things to the tune of like, I mean, that's a successful TV show, if you ask me, with zero humans involved. Somebody just set it up, let the AI go. And Rhea, I see on Spotify, there's all sorts of like ambient music being generated by AI. One of the things I've always maintained is that people don't want to see computers doing this sort of stuff, but the evidence seems to be in the other direction. So is this how AI takes over? Does it even matter? Is this what our kids are going to be watching when they're adults?
Well, see, I think I'm pretty good now being able to spot, like, I'm on Instagram. I can spot instantly when something's AI. I mean, literally, I go, but nope, goodbye. So I'm going with it. I haven't heard any AI Spotify music because I listen to music of artists that I like.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
yeah. So I mean, I'm not going to listen to some weird stuff. I asked Clark if he knew what faceless channels were because I was a little. I'm like, okay, am I so out of the loop? He was just trying to explain that, if you are looking up, my brother will watch anything to do with pyramids on YouTube. It's
yeah,
like an obsession of his. He said if you go onto something that you're looking at and it just continues to keep running, it will run into those channels. And if you just leave it on in the background, it's just playing and making money somehow.
yeah.
Because sometimes you're not,
Wow.
so it's like putting something on the TV and walking away. They're getting your ratings point, but you're not really paying attention to it. So
Right.
it's kind of a similar concept, I think.
So background
Mm.
music. Do you agree with that, Angelo? It's just in the
Well,
background, people enjoy it. But
I signed a peace treaty last week with AI. I'm done worrying about it, and I'll tell you why. I've been involved in it a little bit because my grandsons are writing their themes for college applications, and they're anticipating competing with other people who are going on Chat GPT and getting AI to do it. And AI is pretty darn good at it. Now, I've
yeah,
seen some of their efforts, and I went, yeah, at some point, you got to just say to yourself, whether you're a consumer or you're writing or whatever you're doing, it's here. It's not going away. AI is a way of doing things that someday, maybe not in the distant future, will top what we are able to do as human beings. It's time to accept it and adjust to it. And
yeah,
that's what I am trying to do. So, in this case here, if that's what, if people are enjoying the product that AI created, am I going to stop them because they're hurting people who are no longer getting that opportunity because AI took over? It's not going to change anything. You have to deal with it. The people that are getting victimized by AI need to find another way to do it so that they can still stake out their claim to their territory. It's not going away. And
you
even
know,
if they announced it was, they'd be lying. It's here for
Yes.
good. Deal with it.
Angelo, that actually goes right into our third topic very well, which is this new show. And I got to be honest, I have not seen this show, and I'm wondering if you have, Angelo.
Yes.
So I'm curious your thoughts on it because Widow's Bay is a horror comedy that came out. It's got a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, more than 50 days on the charts. Guillermo del Toro called it maybe the best streaming service in years. Ben Stiller raved about it. And from what I understand about this show, it's a show that is very personal. It's very unique. It's got weird. It's got scares. It's got laughs. And I wonder if what you're saying, this whole idea of how do you combat AI, is you put in all sorts of weird personality traits of the author into something that you can't get from AI. Is that?
Well, here's the thing. All right. First of
Yeah.
all, I think it's based originally on a Stephen King story. All right.
Yes.
So here's the thing. It followed the track of so many TV shows now on stream. that streamers are paying to do. First episode grabs you. It's a great pilot. It's probably been used. AI probably fixed it, so it made it great. It's great. All right. Then, and the whole premise here is this guy's the mayor of a small town, and it's haunted. So there's this hotel that everybody's afraid to go near, and they coax him into spending a night in the hotel. That's like the second episode. It's terrific. I'm totally hooked.
Right.
Then what you just said, we got to start throwing in all the twists. We got to keep everybody guessing. And guess what? I got maybe 4 episodes in, and I went, well, I stopped. I have a new thing I do now when I'm watching a show like that. I get about halfway, and it always gets me early, almost always gets me early. And then I go, do I care what happens next? And when I don't, it's over. Why am I watching it? I don't care. You made me lose my interest in the characters and the story. It went so many different ways. No, I did. And that, I think, is a problem. And by the way, I looked up Guillermo del Toro and Ben Stiller. And the last project that del Toro did that anybody watched was Pinocchio.
On
Which was
Netflix,
a long time ago. And the last thing of note that Ben Stiller did was sit courtside for the Knicks.
I knew that was coming.
He got more publicity for the Knicks than he has for the last 5 projects he's done.
And he didn't pay a cent for those tickets.
You're damn right he did. But the point is, neither of these guys is producing current work, which people are all excited about. So what the hell do they know? It's not that good. It's not worth your time, because by the 4th or 5th episode, you'll stop caring.
Rhea, I want to put our podcast into an AI and have it put out an Angelo rant and see how close we can come to a real one. What do you think, Rhea? Is this? I mean, have you seen the show or like?
I have not, but I've been interested. Well, see, the thing is, once you say horror to me, I'm not interested. I've never liked horror shows, so I'm usually checked out on that. However, I've read a lot of reviews. And the one thing is, I believe one of the writers, or the main writer, was a writer on Parks and Recreation, which I got into very late and loved. Yeah. And what it says is this town's a bunch of quirky people. I have to say I'm a sucker for shows that, when on the occasion where I'm not watching murder and mayhem, I do like quirky little town shows. So I will check. I think I will check it out. But Ange, you're right. What I'm finding with a lot of shows, I read last week, I recommended A Good Girl's Guide to Murder as my British show. 6 episodes, I believe. It started slow, 3rd episode, great and then it fell off. The last 2 episodes, I wanted to slap the main character. I couldn't stand her at the end. And this was a character, first season, loved. And I hate it. They did not stick the landing because they were setting up for season 3. It's like, just put a good season together. Like what you did for all those episodes, stick with it. You don't have to throw in all this crap, to make us on the edge of our seats. So yeah, I experienced that with the show.
I'd say one other thing. I've watched a lot of the shows you've talked about, the British shows. I don't see that happening with them. They tell us.
It normally does it. It normally does. That's why I was disappointed. Yeah.
They get in and they get out. And they don't worry about, we got to do another season. Let's put another twist in here and let's do it. And they end up ruining the original story.
Yep.
The British are not doing that so much.
Who did this? The guy who did this the best, in my opinion, was David Chase. We want to talk about something that could never be recreated. Yeah. Because everything was filtered through his sensibility and his mindset. Yes. And it took left turns. But none of the left turns felt artificial because they were all David Chase left turns. It was all stuff that was inside of his head. And he even had that extended test dream episode from season 5 when Tony takes some drugs and has a dream. Yeah. I loved it. It had all this amazing imagery. And people got mad because it was a 40-minute dream sequence. I was like, give me 2 hours of David Chase doing David Lynch. I'll take it all day long. I love people like that is particular to them, can't be reproduced by anybody else. And you know what? There's one guy in the jewelry business, Angelo Cataldi, that can do it just through his way of doing it, and nobody else can touch him. And he's our sponsor, Steven Singer.
What we're talking about here with a lot of these streamers is false advertising. They send you a premise. They tell you what what the show's about, and then they take it and throw it away. Steven Singer, for over 4 decades, has done the exact opposite of that. He hasn't played that game. He hasn't said to people, listen, here's the way it's going to work. You're going to come in and I'm going to give you a sale, 20% off everything in my store. He's never done that once in 4 decades. You know why? Because he thinks it's dishonest. He thinks it's fake. He says, if I can sell that for 20% less today, why don't I sell it for 20% less every day? And that's the way he has been such a success story in the jewelry industry. How do I know this? I work with Rhea Hughes for many years, and Rhea knows this better than anybody. Right, Rhea?
And you were talking, Jay, you were talking about like unique things that are unique to people. So, I always like to go on and check out the jewelry so I can and I know a lot of people, for some reason, in the summer, people like to get engaged. They're happy. They're not sitting in a room without any air conditioning. I found what I think might be the most beautiful, unique engagement ring I have ever seen. Check this out.
Oh,
wow.
See that? Is that not gorgeous?
Love that.
It is. It's called the Bailey. It's a Ready for Love diamond and sapphire engagement ring. And just so I always tell you the prices. People think, oh my God, I got to spend $20,000-$30,000 in an engagement ring. This engagement ring is $5,000.
Wow. That is
and it's
beautiful.
Stunning.
Oh,
Stunning.
Man.
I was like, I want to get engaged. I don't ever want to get married again, but I want to get engaged with this ring. So,
but Rhea, I'll be honest with you. I may ask Gail to marry me again. Maybe not. She might change her mind.
I'd say no this time.
Yeah, never give him another opportunity, Angela. They might be out.
You're right. She's locked in. Other corner of 8th and Walnut, now also available in where? Newtown Square.
Newtown.
So I'm sorry, whatever. And check it out.
Newtown.
I'm telling you right now, you will get Newtown. You will get the absolute best piece of jewelry in your life for the fairest price at Steven Singer Jewelers.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Steven Singer. And also thanks to Rhea Hughes, who every week graces us with a review of a British or worldwide show. What do you have for us this week, Rhea?
We are going worldwide. I have been thinking about checking out this show since it premiered in February. And I kept going, I don't know if it's for me. I don't know. It's for me, okay? It's a German show called Unfamiliar. One of the highest rated shows on Netflix when it premiered in February. It's 6 episodes. It's a married couple who it kind of starts out there. They own a restaurant, and then they go upstairs because it's their daughter's Nina's 16th birthday, and they got a cake. They made her a cake because he's the chef and she's front of the house. And then they get a phone call because it turns out they've been spies their whole life, and they have a safe house. So when it's kind of almost like the Mr. and Mrs. Smith premise, Brad Pitt and Angelina. But what it is the safe house is for when spies get hurt or in trouble. They give them a call and they go and fix them because the husband has medical training. It turns into this whole espionage spy thing, but it's also a family story because it's the daughter. The flashbacks are played perfectly, like how they're technically dead. They don't exist. This happened 16 years ago with their daughter. They play I'm 4 episodes in. It's 6 episodes. I absolutely love it. The dubbing is so great now. You can barely tell. I'm just telling you. I won't. Some stuff, like a lot of the Harlan Coben stuff, he's doing a lot of foreign stuff. I don't know if it's that they're not paying them. I've seen this German, after like 5 minutes, you don't even know that it's dubbed in German. That's how good it is. It's a terrific story. It's a spy story, but it's a family story on top of it. It's a very high-paced, high-action, and I like a lot. 6 episodes, Unfamiliar on Netflix.
Netflix. All right. Very good.
Rhea, on my Instagram and Facebook reels, you have the option to have it dubbed into other languages. And they use it, AI will do it. And they make your lips match with the words.
Wow.
And sometimes I'll just watch myself talk in Hindi. And I'll just go, this is incredible. I speak Hindi. It looks like they even get the inflection and my voice right. It's amazing what they do. So, yeah, I mean, that's one ethical use of AI.
Yeah.
Jay, what did, in Hindi, what did you give Disclosure Day last week. Did you give it a C- like you should have?
I don't know what the equivalent is, but whatever that is, yes, my AI doppelganger did a better job than I did. All right, Angelo, what do you got for us this
All
week?
right. I didn't have a ton of time this week because I was down the shore with a lot of kids running around, and most of what I watch, I've suddenly realized, is really profane and often dirty. So I can't watch any of that stuff. But when I did come back, I was able. When in doubt, I go to Netflix and find out that they've always got a storehouse of new documentaries, and they got one out right now. I'm going to recommend it only because I love the time. 93 minutes, the whole story's told. Love that. And I love the fact that the ending is clean and you know what happened and there's no doubts. I love that, right? The problem is the name of it is Maternal Instinct, and it's on Netflix. And it's a story of a woman. And this is totally real. There's video of this. Who is stopped. She's pulled over by the cops on a highway. And the cops come up to her and she's screaming and crying and said, I just gave birth to a baby. And in her lap is a baby not moving with his umbilical cord still attached, right? And then they take you into the story of what happened. They go back to the beginning and tell you the story of how she came to that point. And all I could tell you is, in my life, I have watched so many documentaries, it's mind-boggling. I had never seen a crime so heinous as Rhea's looking like Rhea's.
I know about
You know about it.
I started to watch it because I remembered the story, and I just couldn't bring myself to watch it.
But it's mind-boggling. They found it. They got to the real story. They put her in court. They tried her. And it's really compelling. It's like just about everything else Netflix puts on in a documentary. It's good. It's really well done. I think you will. I can't say enjoy it because the crime is so horrible, but it is a fascinating look into how sick and demented some people can be.
Yeah.
You see that and you say to yourself, oh my God, some people are capable of far more horrendous things than you could ever imagine. Maternal Instinct on Netflix. It is a heck of a documentary.
I don't know if I can bring myself to watch. Are the kids in danger? Or they're like,
I'm not telling you.
I can't watch kids. I can't watch kids get hurt, Angelo.
Kids like Rhea, you will bail after the first scene.
Yeah, not for me. I don't like little ones getting hurt. All right, Angelo, what we talk about this week?
All right. Well, there's two in theaters right now that we were. Toy Story 5 is getting great reviews and massive box office. Disclosure Day, not so much in either way, but they're both available now in theaters if you want to check them both out. Widow's Bay is available on Apple Plus if you want to check that out. The first few episodes are really good. Then it stinks up quick. Unfamiliar is available on Netflix, as is Maternal Instinct.
And Angelo, I'm going to be watching Toy Story 5 this week because I'm on a Disney cruise. So I just want to tell you that it's the Angelo Cataldi dream. I'm going to be taking multiple children into a movie theater on a cruise ship to see an animated movie. I believe that's called the Cataldi trifecta.
People need to understand this because we often do this podcast with you on cruises.
Yes.
So when you finally get a vacation, what you do is imprison yourself in a cruise ship on your own time. Is that correct?
Angelo, not my choice. This was a family decision that I was uninvolved with. I was the furthest place that I'd want to go. I'd rather go on that ocean mariner thing down to the Titanic that exploded than go on a cruise ship. I don't want to do it, but I got to do it. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that man right there is Angelo Cataldi. He wrote a book called Loud. You should check it out on Amazon.com. There's Prime Day. It might be on sale for Prime Day. You can check it out at Audible.com or his website, AngeloCataldi.com. Rhea Hughes can be heard every morning on the WIP Morning Show worldwide on the Odyssey app, or you can check out her great Instagram, which is Rhea Hughes 94 WIP on Instagram. I always like your check-ins in the morning, Rhea. You always say live from the newsroom. I'm always a fan. And if you want to hear me rant about politics in Hindi, check me out on Instagram at Hello J Black. If you're our big Hindustan connection there, it'll be a lot of fun. I want to thank our great sponsor, Steven Singer, for sponsoring us. And we'll be back next week with more great TV content. Thanks, everybody.